How we doing, ladies?
DJ Matt.
Yay!
Good morning.
Welcome to another. We're calling it Mage Monday.
Good.
Yeah,
Marvelous Mage Monday.
Yeah, the Marvelous Mage Monday.
there it is. So, we got this is show 21. We'd like to say like, share, subscribe, help us get our stuff out there. We've got Jen today. We've got Sophie. We've got Cece, and then we've got Voyant Mystic Yaga, formerly known as Clairvoyant Psychic Medium. She's got 15 years of energy work experience, medium readings, tarot cards, kind of spiritual life coaching, and all things witchy.
Yay!
Yeah.
Our resident witch.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Just so you know, this is really weird to me today because this is the first time Rob hasn't been here.
It's all girls.
Yeah.
Are you uncomfortable?
I poured a tall whiskey today.
Yeah, we had to get girls at home in the form of dogs.
Yeah, that is the way it worked.
And they are anything but ladylike.
We don't have a show sponsor today, which isn't a big deal. If you're looking for a show to sponsor, this could be the one. Just get a hold of us, message us, Facebook, any of that stuff. But so I'm kind of going to just let y'all do your thing today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit here and drink whiskey and watch it go, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's fire.
So Jen and I were kind of talking, and I think that we would like to start with Cece's Claire story.
Yes,
Okay.
please. And then I feel like that would be a good icebreaker just between everybody to bring everybody together.
Sure.
I want to start first and say that this is the first time we've met in person.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those kind of relationships. I have a few
Yes.
people online where like I would die for them literally, and they're like you finally meet them in person. And you're like, I knew I loved you.
But yeah, I want you to kind of start to tell a story. We'll figure it out.
Sure. Yeah. So back in 2020, I was researching. I wanted a reading done. So I was just researching in Omaha, just online, looking around, and I came across Claire, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give her a try. So I set up an appointment with her, and she called me, and we get into the reading. And so far, like, she's just hitting everything, and I'm just thinking, how would she know that? How would she know that? And my grandpa came through. My grandpa and I were really, really close, and he passed in 2016. We were so close that I called him. He was Italian, so I called him Baba, which is actually Dad instead of Grandpa. That's how close we were. And so she was just hitting it out of the park with stuff. And I was just like, my God, like, how does she know that, right? So then all of a sudden, she's like, your grandpa's showing me, he's holding a little girl, and I have no kids at this point, none. Wasn't planning on it at all. I loved being an aunt. That was good for me. Like, had no problem being an aunt.
She was like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't want kids. I remember that energy from that.
Didn't want kids. However, I didn't want kids. And my boyfriend, well, we had broken up 4 months prior, and we were together for a few years, and I loved him, and I was just devastated. I wasn't even seeing anybody, so like a kid really wasn't on my mind. And she was like, he's holding this little girl, and it's yours. And I was like, look.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. I don't have kids. I love being an aunt. You must, like, there's other girls in my family. Like, maybe it was symbolic, right? For like another person in my family that has a little girl. And she's like, no, this is your little girl. She just hasn't come yet. And I'm like, okay. So we finished the reading. She was amazing. Loved her right away. Just felt a connection. How can you not? Okay.
Yeah.
But like, I was just kind of put that in the back of my mind because I was like, it could have been symbolic. Like, I kind of just brushed it off. Actually had a doctor's appointment. I don't know if I ever told Claire this.
No.
The next month I had a doctor's appointment, and basically all in all, the odds of me even having a kid at that time was like slim to none.
Whoa.
Just leave it at that. So I was like, okay. So then we're together now, but I reconnected the end of June with my now boyfriend. Yeah, in 2020. And a few weeks later, second or third week in July, I find out I'm pregnant. And I was like, what? So, and she's.
I
a
remember the
little
next
girl.
thing. I gotta say that. So
Yeah.
yes, tell about your little girl. What's her? I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to say.
Sure,
her
of
name
course.
or-
Her name's Malia.
I
named-
love that.
So-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually named her after my grandpa because my grandpa's name was Elia, Elia.
Oh.
So I just did Melia.
I did not remember that you named him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No wonder.
All
he
because of
won't
Claire.
leave me
All
alone.
because of Claire. Yeah.
That's so
Eli, her
cute.
grandfather, will not leave me alone.
I'm sure he won't.
After meeting with you last time,
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
hasn't left me alone.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
she just had a dream about 6.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Okay, so
Okay.
6 backstory
Yeah.
is Matt has a friend named Steve. He has a half brother named 6. 6 and Claire were really close.
Yeah.
There's more to that story, but they
Yeah.
were really close, and 6 passed away. So that's one of her spirits.
Yeah, he's
Guiding
the main
her.
reason that I am actually clairvoyant, that I see things. When he passed away is when I started seeing visions, and I was like,
That's crazy. He's
Yeah.
been visiting you too, Cece.
yeah, he bothers everyone.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
had
he
a
is.
dream a few nights ago, and Claire's like, "Call me." And I told her about
Yeah.
the dream, and she was like, "No way."
Yeah, it was crazy.
But-
Okay, I want to say the thing.
Yeah.
This is the best part of her daughter story. A year later, after she called, so when she called me the first time, I was living in my apartment where you dropped off the depression couch. Yeah, and then I moved from there to Prague, and then I remember the phone call with her saying, "I'm holding this baby girl right now, Claire."
Thanks.
like so mad at me, but at
You're the
same
baby
time-
daddy. We need
Right.
Maury.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was such a wild thing, and then we've been kind of consistently.
That's such
Having-
a beautiful
yeah.
story. Oh my god.
I don't ever predict the future. That is something
Yeah.
for me that is like, because free will can fuck
And I've
anything
heard
up.
that, and I think people get like
Yeah.
Even
that's
after
a
you
big
get your
thing.
reading, that changes
Yes,
things.
yes, because you know now,
Yes.
and it's your choice
Mhm.
then.
Mhm.
So yeah, and I agree. That's why I
It's a huge-
usually don't, and I don't even remember. And I remember when she called, like, I'm holding my baby girl. She's like, "You predicted this," and I was like, "Whoops."
I might have set
That
some things
shit
in
out of my
motion. Yeah, you pushed everything. Okay. Yeah.
It was crazy.
That
It was
is-
crazy. And then we just kept in touch, and I've gotten readings here and there with her, and she's
Yeah, she's
Spot
turned into
on.
my assistant now,
yes,
and
yes,
it's been
yes.
so freaking helpful because
I love it.
You were looking for someone too,
Yeah.
though.
it's it. Thank you,
Here
New
I
Moon.
am.
Yeah, you're all go.
Yeah, we had to kick out some boys.
Yeah, I got a clean house. You know, I think all of us have that more in common than we realize.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Go
that's
ahead,
what this
kick me
frog
out.
one. It says clear out clutter. So that is.
I know
probably
who
a
that's
big
for.
thing. Yeah. But yeah, so is there anything else that you want to like say about working with me or something? I don't know why I'm asking. I feel weird, but whatever.
You're trying to give her the right spotlight, the right respect. Yeah.
No, she's just great. I tell everybody I know that
Just
wants
give
a
a
reading or
chance.
something to give her a chance because she's just always
She
She
keeps
doesn't
the
miss.
conversation going
Right.
too. Right.
right. And
Yeah.
she's not only that, she's very personable, which I love. Like you feel comfortable.
A little
with
too
her.
personable at
Well,
the time.
I mean,
And you take redirection well, like, no, well, you kind of have that right, but this, and you're like, okay, so these other things make sense, and you guys can work it out
Oh,
together.
gosh,
It's
yeah.
an open conversation.
Communication is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's beautiful.
yeah, and I love that. And
Some people
yeah.
take that as being pushy or like you're a demanding woman. You're a difficult. No, I'm just communicating with
Yep.
you to my boundaries so that you
Yep.
know whether or not I mesh with you or you can stay away from me. Like that's
Yeah.
that's part of being a human. Like it's
Yeah.
a judgment thing for survival. If I annoy you and it's going to make you murder someone, stay away from people like me.
Right.
Like that's on you for getting frustrated. That's not me being annoying. That's you not being able to control that. So
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
the baby here?
Bang. Yeah.
So what was it that encouraged you to look for a reading?
Well, honestly, it was my boyfriend because we had broken up. Loved him
It's a
to
life
death.
change.
It was a huge life change because I wasn't expecting that breakup at all, and it devastated me. So I was just kind of wondering, like,
Needed direction.
I totally needed direction.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I just remember out of that reading, it's just crazy how it all came together later. You know, some things I feel like you don't get instantaneously.
Oh, no.
You wait.
It's like that's so Raven, but like when she goes into her vision, you're on the other side of it, and you're like, how the hell
You know what's
Yeah.
really crazy is that I've absolutely never seen an episode of that.
That's funny. That was like part of my childhood.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
the gargoyles, a whole bunch of different random
Oh,
stuff.
I
People
love
are like,
gargoyles.
"Who raised you?" I'm like,
Yeah.
The
No,
90s?
somehow I never watched like medium shows.
"Oh, okay."
Oh.
So I was just
Maybe
like,
it didn't want to sully your like interpretation of your gift. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were more in tune with it.
But I hear people talking about that, and it's like, oh, I get visions like that all the time.
Mhm.
It sucks, guys. Like,
And I actually had a really profound thought. It was on the way here, and I was like, we need to talk about dreams. We need to talk about dreams.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, how would I explain talking about dreams? How would we make this conversation start? And I was like, how would I even explain my dreams? Really, I would just sit there and say, it's too big. It's too expansive to explain. And actually, I've put it together. I've pinpointed it today on the way here.
Ooh.
It's my dreams are a conglomeration of all of the moments in time that didn't mean anything that were lost.
whoa.
They're all the seconds that aren't in the forefront
and
of my
even
brain.
people.
And places and
Yep.
renditions, and it's like that's a person I'll never see again.
Yep.
These are all a flow of these people, and it's just like this little network of like and Wreck-It Ralph, you know, when they're in the circuits and stuff. That's like how my freaking dream is, and I'm like, it was an epiphany I had on the way here. I was like, oh my goodness, we need to
Do you
talk
guys
about
follow
this,
what she's saying?
about how you see
See,
your
like,
dream.
sometimes I think that
Yeah.
Aquariuses are like, whoops, we talked way
Yeah,
too
sorry.
far, people.
Yeah, we explain too much but too little right now. But yeah, just
We
how you
accidentally went into
compartmentalize
stage
and how you're thinking and how your dreams are structured and how you go from room to room and the people that you see. And
Mhm.
sometimes you see silhouettes, but sometimes you actually see people, but they don't actually have features you remember.
Well, the dream I had about Claire the other night. This was like what, 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Like we were hanging out in the dream, and then I turn around and she's gone, but all her stuff is there. And then she returns with a friend, but I couldn't see who that
6.
friend was. It was just,
Isn't that crazy?
it was just,
Because she never knew it.
I couldn't see who the friend was, but I knew she was with a friend. They were standing in front of me.
How many times did we leave after that last time where you were like, randomly, you were like, well, Steve, and I'm like, God, stop doing that. Stop. 6 was just here. Stop doing that. I'm freaked out. I'm just new to this. This is very new to me. Please ease me into this. Stop it.
Okay,
Just don't talk
so
about
I
Steve.
want to talk to you about that fear for a second.
Well, it's not like a fear. It's like I need a second.
Oh, just like an acceptance. Okay.
Yeah, I need to feel it, otherwise, and I just need to like let it, like the euphoria wash over me. Otherwise, it's like
It's
breastfeeding.
awareness.
I don't it's like that moment when Sophie, I don't know if it's that moment where you're like, oh, the euphoria of like the letdown. I have to almost like let that happen over my body. It's like so weird. And I'm like, otherwise I get too wound up and I go into my
I want to know what that. I don't wanna have
OCD.
kids, but-
Oh, and then I freak out and Matt's seen it and I'm just and
a
it's
release.
crazy. And I just
Okay.
I have to like just like let it flow through me. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And like something will happen in the next 5 minutes and I'm like, that'll make sense.
Okay, yeah. So that's the sucky thing about
Yeah, not
being
a
an
fear.
Aquarius. We are 10 steps ahead, a day or 2 ahead. Like that's the way it's been our whole entire lives. However,
We don't realize it till later.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, and we make asses out of ourselves like for a whole day, and then you're like, oh, that's in the next day we're like, whoops, that's why.
I
did
messed up that prophecy.
Yeah.
I'm 100 years early. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
My bad.
that. However, starting in January, we're gonna be much more Aquarius-led energy.
Yeah, you were saying this is our time.
Thank God, because my gosh, this whole life I've always been like, whoops, I like was in this place, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, it got robbed that night, or oh, somebody died. It's like, whoops, sorry, I'm accidentally the buzzard. I'm a turkey buzzard. That's my power animal. Yeah.
Do you have repetitive dreams, Sophie? Is there like a
Yes.
occurring theme that you
Ooh.
have?
I mean, I think it's a subconscious thing mostly because the most recent partner that I had, it would be a lot of just getting cheated on. I'm sure that you've had those
Or the
dreams.
fear of even if it's not happening.
Sophie-
But not even like a fear of it, because I the very last one, I remember it so vividly,
and you're
it's
hung up on it.
and
Okay.
it's a reoccurring thing, and it would
a
always
theme.
end with getting cheated on by him.
Okay.
And the recent one that I had, and for some reason it was like my sister said, oh yeah, it's the girl over there in the leopard print, and it like just specific details that I seem to remember here. And then I asked him straight up, and I'm like looking into his eyes, and he's like, yes, I cheated on you. But it's like how differentiating that from what real life is, because you wake up and it feels
They had you
it feels
believing
so
something and
real.
all the
Yeah, but
rugs
the fact
ripped
that
out.
I looked him right in the eyes, looked him right in the eyes, and he was like, "Yes, I did that."
It's that like out of body feeling.
But then I can't get that out of my head though, so
Okay.
that it's like it kind of translates into the.
Can I have your birthday, please?
October
Every guy,
92.
1992.
every guy fears their woman having that dream.
Yeah, well, because
They
you
just
Wake up,
angry.
hitting them like a cat.
It was like
You
so the
son of
first
a
time-
bitch.
What?
1992.
Well,
So the
you're,
very first
you
time
are
that the
vulnerable
dreams
enough
had-
that men are like, oh,
Are
I
you
can
here
do this
in
with her.
Omaha? Were you born here?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, and do you by chance know what time?
I want to say it was about 1:26 in the morning.
Okay, thank you. I will clip on
But
that.
we're,
No,
with
you're
the, no,
good.
with the dream. So at first it was like that pissed off feeling, and then I would try to dissect the dreams, and that's where I kind of it came from. As you know,
That's
for
when
me,
you need
it
to reach out
felt
for
like it was a
help.
subconscious
That's when you should
feeling.
reach out for help.
But then also the relationships that I had in the past where I was getting cheated on consistently. So I mean, it's just like an underlying fear that I had.
It needs
but
to be
then-
something you don't discuss that fear with in the future, because once they know that fear, they're going to use it against you, especially with the
Wow.
caliber of the
But
men.
not even that
in,
though.
like,
It was just like
your
the fact the realism. It was just so like
Yeah,
with my
the
sister
feeling.
being there,
Yeah.
being able to describe the woman that it was, and then having that like validation.
She
as
saw this?
this is all in my dream.
Oh.
Okay, this is all in my dream. But like I say, there's times when I wake up and I remember a dream for a couple seconds, and you think about it, and it's like
Or you're
some
doing
of them-
laundry.
But even some of those situations, like I would wake up and I would be in tears,
Yeah.
crying, because it's just so it makes me so upset to think about, and I'm just so afraid of getting hurt like that again.
Yeah.
That I feel it is a trend, and then it kind of
You
causes
follow before
but
you even realize.
causes upsets in the relationship though, because then I'm on the edge and I'm like, are you cheating on me? Is this real?
Well,
why is
And that
talk
other
for a
person
second?
isn't
Yeah.
mature enough. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is, I'm just going to be 100% real because that's who I am. I am currently going through a divorce right now, and he shares your birthday.
I saw your face.
You're in everything?
Yeah, no.
You're in everything.
I'm like,
but
damn.
is also that birthday, so that's fun.
I love it.
But I want to just tell you, as a Libra, for the past now almost getting to 2 years, you have had the South Node, which represents your past, just literally taking a giant dump on you.
Sophie,
2 years. That's how long I've been. That's
if
how long
that
I was
doesn't
with in that
scream to you,
relationship.
listen.
I've been in a marriage for 2 years too.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So he is also very similar with what you were just saying. His ex cheated on him so many times, and he never seeked out help to heal.
and he brought it over
And
with him.
he took it out on me.
Mhm.
I'm an Aquarius. I cry for other people, so I'm used to crying for October 1st babies. So I'm probably going to cry for you.
That's our relationship.
But the one thing that I want to really pinpoint is that you're Cancer rising. So as a Cancer rising, this is how everyone in the world sees you, is that mother, that's badass, just nurturer. But when you don't have someone else fucking taking care of you, how the fuck are you going to be able to take care of anyone else? You have to take care of yourself. Through these 2 years, that's the main thing that you needed to have grasped.
What have I been
that-
telling you for 2 years?
Is that you have to learn how to take care of yourself, because nobody else is going to know how to do it if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So
Wild.
the other thing that's huge is that you have a Sagittarius moon. So your moon is your emotions. So the moon is at home in Cancer, but your moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the wanderlust, the like what happens when a fire gets added to a fucking forest, like
In the middle of an
Yikes.
ocean.
yeah, like yikes, So when you get mad, you get big mad, and when you get scary, you get a little crazy. So
Yeah. With all respect on that word.
right, no, I
Yeah.
have so much Sagittarius in my chart too, girl. Like it happens. Like if you make me go to that level, I'm sorry. I'll took it up here, and I might yikes. So
If you
it's
don't love me
okay.
at my Sag, then you don't love me at all.
Right. Yeah, if you don't love me at my Sag moon, you will
You don't-
never love me at that Libra sun.
Yeah.
Because the
You'll
Libra
never
sun,
love me at my Libra sun.
yeah, your Libra sun is the balance. It's the only zodiac sign out of the whole entire 12 that is a material object.
It's not an animal or living being.
Yeah, you're able to not be human just as much as Aquariuses can disconnect from their emotions. That's
Air.
why Libra, yes, I have this. I got it with my best friend who's a Libra.
You told me that, and I was like, okay, this is a push. Me and Sophie need to get our freaking tattoos now.
Yeah, get these. I lost those friends. But anyways,
Stop it.
I creeping. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Story.
All right. So
Reconnect.
Libra, with the Libra sun, like I was saying, the material objects. So you guys like to be bougie. You like to be material things. You like to shop. If you're not going to find a partner that can provide for you for that, sorry, gotta go. Like you have to do that. You have to,
and
be
not
able
just
to,
bougie in the materialistic things.
Yes, because
bougie in the idealistic like things.
And love.
Yes,
Libra is the relationship. It's the harmony.
Your bougie idea of love, your bougie idea of self, your bougie idea of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I
Using
mean?
bougie.
They
I'm
have to
losing
meet your
sight of,
sass.
like what?
Okay, so
I'm thinking, like I think of like fancy stuff, and kind
so
of like
I want that fancy love.
To make you
I
feel
want
good.
that fancy car. I want that fancy house. Like
Obviously,
you
vision it
deserve
all
that.
in
You're
my
the
head.
material.
But-
well, the ideal relationship and kind of expectations of what I want and what it looks like to me. So I just mentioned the relationship that I was in those 2 years, and then the relationship prior to that, the
major one.
the energy matched and everything, and we laughed together, but I was getting cheated on constantly.
It
And
was
like
a mess.
finding text messages, it was finding
Was he
video pages, it was finding
Sorry.
videos and pictures, and like, oh, you're liking this girl.
Okay,
It's
so
like,
this is the
then I
thing.
became crazy,
Yeah.
right? Then I became crazy, and
That's
You didn't
then
have
when
somebody
the
who could
scales
validate your
get-
feelings.
after
See-
that, I deleted all social media. I'm not on social media at all,
Ugh,
because
but-
after that ended, I wanted all of it to go away. And I mean, with the cheating and stuff, the whole experience, I don't think I really dealt with, because that's where, you met her. That's where she came from. So mini me.
Uh-huh.
And then, but with all, it's just like,
You're an
trying-
air sign, so
trying
that's
not to do what happened there, and then like fix myself
Girl,
while raising.
You don't
a
need
kid.
to try not to do anything. All you have to do is to try to be better. You don't need to be looking in the past. And the one thing that I wish that I could, like, how the words that I want to use is like ingrain in all Libras is that if you're going to fuck around and find out, you're gonna find out.
Oh, I found out.
Right.
well, you're an air sign, right? And that's in tarot, that's swords. So it's logic, intellect.
Oh, shit, I didn't
you
even know
can
that. Good
use
job.
it for good or evil.
Exactly.
Stop using it for fucking evil. I've been telling you this for 2 years. I've been reading tarot for 4.
Oh,
I've
I've
been
been
telling
trying
you
to
this
tell
for
Pretty
forever.
that. Oh,
That's
wow.
what sword. Anytime you pull a sword, especially you're a Libra. That's an air sign.
Show your sword.
You can use
Show
it.
Yeah.
Be more punk, Sophie. You can use it for good or evil. Stop using it for evil. Cool. This shit happened to you in the past. Stop using it for evil.
You got to heal from it. So one thing, just to like say science-wise, because Aquarius is a very scientific brain, EMDR therapy helps so much. I can do Reiki. I can walk you through your traumas and help you like do all of that with my spiritual coaching. Like
For us, what is MDR?
oh,
For us,
electromagnetic. What is the D?
Diffusion. I don't know.
I
rapid thing. It does.
I have a therapist that tried to do.
yes.
So I was divulging too much of
That is a great word.
of that 2-year situation into the therapy sessions, that it wasn't even a personal journey anymore. It was a
Bitch session.
exactly, and then it was like I wasn't able to get into like the meat and
Yep.
everything of what actually happened.
So did
and
she
kind
do
of to go-
MDR to help with it?
It was like 3 times, but
Okay.
I would always come in there. Sometimes I would be bawling.
Yeah.
I would be hysterical. I
You
would
got to
sit
learn how to
down.
balance your scales.
Yeah, but
So
I didn't
you're
have
always
like that
like
type
this.
of emotional regulation either.
Okay.
Growing up, I don't know. I mean, emotionally
Oh, girl.
regulating for me is tough, and then having to pass that on to someone smaller than me. Sorry,
That's
when
okay.
I don't know how to do it myself.
Stick around.
You know, I'm like
You're sitting
teaching her
here,
how to
you're
do that,
talking,
and
you are doing it.
I
it's-
tell her that
I
all
get excited. I get
So
excited.
do I.
And like it's just a.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to fucking get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and
but
then the
it's
thing that
accepting
our
that-
parents never used to do is the thing that you can do is say sorry. Mom
Yeah,
fucked
and
up.
she does.
Yep.
Because that was
She sorries
something
the
that we
fuck out
never
of it.
So
I mean,
good.
we this past summer, the whole entire summer, and this could get emotional here, but she and I, we thought that, you know, living in a different state was going to be where we needed to be, and it was with that 2-year relationship.
Who isn't her
Can
father?
you tell
just to
me
be
the
clear.
state?
Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we went out there, and don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like
No,
everybody
no,
has
don't.
that
Yeah.
perception of it, and it's like
It's
the atmosphere. I could get that, but the community,
How you feel about
They
Craig
had- well,
and
they
your
had-
predisposition.
yeah, but they had
So
like
you
bike
got to be a little
trails, They had
more.
all these parks. They had all these
Oh.
big things. It was like it felt
You grew
nice
to
being
love
able
it.
to walk out of my
Right.
front door and not
Yeah.
have to worry about some crackhead.
Yeah,
on the
Yeah.
but think
corner,
about
you know,
it.
like
Last you were just saying that it felt like slaughtery out where you were at last time. That's a preconception that you have that you're holding on to a materialistic ideal and image. You've watched too much Children of the Corn, Sophie. It feels what a serial killer out here.
So yeah, because I guess
but so does Ankeny, Iowa.
I am
Where's
on,
that at?
I am on edge though. Like I
Because
feel
it's
So,
new
let
to
me-
you. That has
let
nothing
me
to
say,
do.
You're on edge because you're alone.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, so
Okay.
I was before
She
the
can't lean
relationship,
into her female relationships.
I was
Right.
I was
Well, because
alone.
Libras are like the relationship. You have to have a certain, like, you have to have someone that you
balance
can
your
either
scales.
suck the life out of. I'm so sorry. You know you're capable of that. I have Aries. I am the same way, and I'm not trying to be mean.
No,
And
But
with all the love
either-
in the world.
I
yes.
can no,
And
I
with
can
all the
accept
love
the
in the
criticism.
world.
Like,
Yes.
please
Yeah,
tell
okay.
me
No,
the
I'd
dark
let
sides.
I'd
and
let
like,
you
either-
suck off of me because I know that I can handle that. You know what I'm saying?
And I
You've been
see
doing
that.
this.
I see
yes.
that. Yes, I do.
I'm
and
trying
I
to help
realize
balance your
that.
scales.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, so you either have to have someone that you suck the life out of, or someone that helps and feeds you. So look for the people that help and feed you, even if it isn't a penis, because
No, it doesn't need to be.
And that's a big thing too, your female relationships
Yeah.
throughout your whole life. There's a trend. Just like with men. There's a trend there. It's different, but there's a trend.
that is something that now with Libra in the South Node, it's having us take a look at, okay, as far as male and female, okay, we always hate the male in our relationship. We can have daddy issues. That's an easy one
They
to
make
blame.
us feel good, but
Yeah, but when it comes to females, when
There's
it comes
no
to mom
expectation.
relationships, if you also didn't have that growing up, nobody fucking talks about that.
yeah, mom. Yeah,
Yeah.
the strained mother relationship,
Right.
of course. Yes.
I
Yeah.
have. A little bit
So,
of both, but-
yeah, I can feel it. I'm the same.
Yeah.
So, I just want you to know that you are not alone. You have so much help. You just have to stop looking in the places that you've always looked.
So,
What have I been freaking telling
like,
you?
therapy?
what
I
you-
guess, because that's
No,
kind of
I'm
like,
talking about penis.
Yeah. Oh.
What you've been doing hasn't been working. How long
Right.
have I been telling you this? Since I've been reading. What you've been doing hasn't been working.
You got to complete yourself.
Do something different for
And
the next
then-
year.
Introduce
Yeah,
something else.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
or someone. or
I
just
always
let
think of
happen.
it when it comes to a relationship, and this is what I preach, and now I'm practicing it. When it comes to a significant other, you have to be put together, whole, whatever, and then you pick up that purse, that penis. Okay, I'll pick that one to go with my outfit today.
Mhm. So, because I had it in my mind that I could heal while also being in a relationship, but what doesn't
That
work out
was
there.
working before you had a child. Now
I
you
wasn't.
have to
I wasn't
fully
that
be
self-aware,
there for
though.
the
I
child.
wasn't self-aware
Now
at
you are.
all. Yeah, because there
Yeah.
was a significant event, and
Hey,
that
you were
kind of
young,
changed.
baby girl.
Yeah,
Oh,
gosh,
it
oh my
changed-
gosh.
It changed perspective. a
How
lot.
old is your daughter?
She's 7.
She's
now.
right between Diesel and Barrett. Isn't that
Oh,
cute?
Yeah,
so yeah,
7
girl, this has been 7 years.
But it's
of
also it's just like and back and forth and up and down and all
Yeah.
of these things and trying not to do what I had done to me as a child and
Your
trying to
fear is
but
keeping
now
you
I'm
from
also
growing.
Yeah.
It's
becoming
holding you back.
selfish because
What'd you say?
You trying not to be selfish is you becoming selfish. You have all these, I don't want to be selfish. And in that, you're being selfish because you're not focusing on what you need.
Because like the hotel and all that last night, like I felt like I was taking advantage of you. You know, we come out and it's like you're offering all these things, we're using all your stuff. I want to
You're not used to
and
that.
then I'm overstimulated.
Ding.
Yeah, there was all of that going on, and I
You're
was
not used to
super
that.
overstimulated.
Yeah. And I was
all
like,
this
there's not
stuff.
much to be overstimulated. There must be more here. There's got to be.
So let me
And
ask, what made you uncomfortable? So, from my understanding, they got you a hotel. You had in a hotel.
Unconditional love.
Right, but I know.
No, that's the problem. I'm telling you. Oh, okay. Sorry.
What is the uncomfortable thing? Like, what was uncomfortable about that?
So I guess so. First, just we're outside. I am an outdoorsy person if I am prepared for it, but then I was getting eaten by the friggin' mosquitoes and stuff.
And I forgot the mosquito bracelets.
And then I was
my bad.
looking at I'm like, what about
she was
snakes?
overstimulated.
What about ticks?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm looking at Can we edit that out?
Yeah, that's fine.
I was looking at her. I was like, I don't want
ticks, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like making sure that she's having fun.
It's
like,
all the
she's
extremes.
doing okay, and then
you're using it as evil.
Mom,
yeah, you're taking the energy and using it as evil.
And then wanting to be in control of all this, of everything. So she's fine, right?
Yeah.
She is just living life and doing everything, and even she's fine too. It's like I am the one that was not fine. I was feeling uncomfortable, and then projecting that out onto the situation, assuming that she was feeling the same way when she's just playing with.
She
Look at
totally
how much
was.
awareness she has right now. Like, just one day later, you were able to see all of that. I just want
That's not something your parents did.
Yeah, and then it's like, but also having you there to talk me down, because it wasn't even.
I didn't know how to make you feel better. I was just like, just know everything's okay.
But it wasn't brushing it off though, or even like not just like
it's okay to feel this way,
trying to ignore it. Yeah, you're like,
but everything's okay.
Let's go outside and de-escate. Let's talk about this. What's going on?
That's what
and then I was
healthy
just
communication is.
Yeah,
she even said, she goes, I don't know how to communicate.
No, I really don't though. I really don't, because in that 2 years, it was like that's what.
That was a trigger point of when a fight would start.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that.
And that's why I didn't.
Well, you're useless anyway. Well, if you can't help me communicate my feelings, you're useless too.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
We got to the hotel and everything, and then that was fine, because it was like, okay, this is kind of like a space that we could.
And that's exactly why I wanted you to have a place where you could demask.
And your house is a home, right? But I have. It's sad. I just haven't been there enough to like have a comfortable walking in and letting a fart out or something.
Just this year, I feel comfortable letting someone into my house when I'm not there, and that's Melissa. That's just the first time in my life I've ever felt that. My life that I have felt okay with somebody coming into me and my husband and my children and my dog space was Melissa. And now I'm like, I get it. I get why people have those relationships and friendships now. You know what I mean? And I want you to fucking have
my heart.
And then
she's
it's
like, just let me love you.
I still have
That's exactly what it was. And then you 10 minutes, you showed up at the hotel 10 minutes later, you talked to us, and then it was like the interaction that you and I had, and then Isabella was able to
interject.
She was able to be herself, and then bouncing off the walls and stuff like that. So it's like she was just but she was like uncomfortable because it's like a new situation for her as well. So then I'm uncomfortable trying to make sure that she's having fun and that like there isn't something being suppressed that isn't being said.
Sorry, your energy is like.
It is, yeah. I'm like, look at this.
Let's take a deep breath. Let's go.
No, and I'm not saying that that's how you sound. I'm like, I feel your energy.
Let's just like
this, and I'm like, there's a message for you on the other side. And we need to get there.
So Sophie, just so you know, we invited you to stay in the hotel.
We're not like the people that
you're not using us if we invite you, bro.
But it's just like I could.
That's her expectation.
Right
and
that's what she's used to. Is that when people offer, there's this expectation, some condition,
and then and you're using it like.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't take my help. You didn't take
Mm-hmm.
my help. Exactly.
Nope.
You didn't take my help, or you took my help, or you didn't take my advice and it went this way, went that way. Oh, you should have listened to me then. I told you this, I told you that. And it's just like,
okay, let's take a deep breath.
I'm telling you, that's why I can't wait for Claire to help me sort this out because I'm so new to this. I'm just a baby.
So I want to bring it back right now and just talk about since we record this on a new moon, just the actual moon itself, like I said, is ruled by Cancer. So when your emotions, when your moon is not chill, your whole life is going to be messy.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that I absolutely love about Libras is that you can always tell when there's something up.
No matter, you know it's going to get messy, but it's how you know, if you know the phase is going to come, you can prepare a little bit for it. Okay, you crazy bitch, I see you. I raised you one. We're stopping at McDonald's for 2 ice cream cones a piece. You know what I mean?
Wasn't Rob a Libra too?
Yeah. Wait, no, Virgo.
Yeah, I was he's a Virgo or Sag or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Melissa's ex was a Virgo and we were talking about Virgo.
Right.
And then Beth kept trying to.
I just remember him
she's
being,
calm.
He had a bougie side to him too.
He did. Yes,
maybe
I remember.
He was a Libra rising. Then. Yeah. So, do you have any passed away people that you would like to talk to today?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me their name? Can you say their name out loud?
We can edit that part out as well, or you can just say my
Yes.
daughter's
I
father.
could definitely drop
My
audio.
daughter's
Oh.
father, then his name. That way we can edit out his name.
Daughter's father.
Can you say the last name, please?
And I will edit that out.
Okay, I am immediately drawn to what was he like stabbed or like it feels very yucky. Give her tissues, please.
He was shot.
Okay, so that's good. So right there.
I
Okay.
only read a news article about
Okay.
it.
Oh, because he was in Mexico. He was in a different like. There's a. It's okay. Yeah, I need to calm down. I do that. I need to quit.
No, you're good. Oh, that's
No,
why I'm here to
I'm
mediate.
glad that you do that because I'll just keep going and just be like, I don't care. You're
I'm not
crying.
gonna breathe someone if I don't feel like I can help.
For a little comedy relief, you can fart in my house. I have 4 sons.
Yeah.
I do have 4 sons.
Oh,
It's
that was
just a house
that.
full
I
of
went to
farts.
the hotel. I was like, you could have just done that at my house. The boys would have loved you more for it.
Yeah, they'll one up you.
Right in your face too. You're like, did you just too? And she's like, no. Okay.
Just so everybody knows, Sophie chose not to be on camera, which we're cool with. That's why we don't have her up here
But she doesn't
She
mind
chose
sharing her story.
to
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
Yes, so we are.
Yeah, very
This is a
grateful.
moment of
Yes.
healing to empower women.
Yeah.
There's somebody else out there who needs to hear this story of
Right.
hurt and love and overcoming.
Fear
Yes.
of trying to figure out yourself and look at her being fucking brave.
I was
And not
trying
having
to- I was
people and
psyching
figuring it
myself
out.
out this whole time too, because even when I got to the hotel, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm just gonna tell her that I can't do it. I'm just gonna tell her that I can't do it." And then it was just like the I mean, you show.
I had dreams and feelings. I was like, she went home. That's why she's not answering. She went home. And then you this morning didn't answer me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's all the negative energy that was being channeled
from
through
her.
that
Yeah, it
feeling.
was-
I knew it.
Yeah, so it was just a new experience, right? And pushing outside
Yeah.
of my comfort zone. And I knew that coming into this, I mean, just the respective boundaries too.
It's
Like,
the first
say,
time
you know,
you've been able
I'm
to
like-
talk about it.
I'm like, hey, I don't want to
Wow.
do this. I don't want to do that. And it wasn't like a trying to finagle it in a way to like, okay, but can we do like still having, pushing that boundary and making me
People
uncomfortable, but like,
able to focus you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
She hasn't been able to talk about this for 7
Okay.
years. She has
Oh, I
felt
thought it was
selfish
6 years.
feeling this grief and how she moved after it happened. She has felt judgment from people saying, well, you don't
Oh.
care because of how you're acting. It's like everybody grieves and mourns differently.
Yeah.
And that's on her. That nobody
So
gets to
I'm
judge
gonna-
her for that. And that's a huge pressure she's been feeling and she can't move past it. It's a rock she's stuck in.
What would you like me to call him because he's not letting me say his first name? Did you have a nickname for him?
Santos.
Santos? Okay.
Is that what?
He's being playful.
Is there a
Yeah.
reason?
Was he a wait, what? Is that a different
or
person?
Jay Dilla, something along those lines?
Like a rap name?
Yeah, he
That's
was
it. That's it.
He's trying to be funny right now.
Okay.
He's trying to be funny.
He's like, Jay Dilla's in the house. I'm ready to take over. Like, was he very outspoken, like loud? Like he was wanting to interrupt you this whole time?
He let her be silly.
Okay.
He let
He
her
was
be
that
silly.
person too, and
Okay.
we could joke
I
around
never
about
met
it.
him. It was
When
it
is
was
his
right
birthday?
after I had Barrett. Well,
February 21st.
Oh, I was like, man, this guy's almost an Aquarius.
he's a Pisces.
He's a cuspy.
Yes, he is.
Oh, that's amazing. So that makes sense. So I have a lot of Pisces in me. She's a Pisces.
I have a
We
lot of
will
Pisces.
be very like Pisces, Aquariuses. We can balance you out because if you think about the wheel,
Mhm.
you don't want to go for people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go for the 12s and the 11s and the 10s over
Mhm.
here. Capricorn's a 10, 11 is Aquarius, Pisces is a 12. What's going on? You're just shifting out her anxiety. Why don't you have?
There's just a lot of love. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I was looking at you so that you could try to take the energy. Sorry.
Me?
Yes,
Oh.
it's him. But I want you
okay.
to. It was like Beth last time. She was trying to come through too loud.
Oh, okay.
I need you to channel the energy because I'm too new to this.
Okay,
I
got
don't.
it. Got it.
You see me right now. I'm
Yep.
not scared, but it's whoo.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I can't. Woo. Sorry, he's been
So,
trying
no.
to come through for a while, and I've been telling her she needs to hear this.
Why does he keep showing me a sleeping bag? Is he trying to make me tell like my most embarrassing story? Did I tell this before? I told this like recently.
A sleeping.
Okay, does sleeping bag mean anything to you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I guess he's making me tell a funny story. So one time I was at Nikki, the morning show host that was on Sweet 98, Nikki. I was at her house. It was her 16th, probably not 16th, 15th birthday. And I had a New Kids on the Block sleeping bag, and I was so excited because her cousin was coming, and he had a Devin Sawa haircut, and I was like, oh my God, I love him. You know, and so I was like, oh, he's so beautiful. And I like buried my face in the sleeping bag, and my braces got stuck, and I had to be cut out. And I was like, lost my
Nerd.
chance forever.
Nerd.
I'm never going to be able to
That's why
have
your
a Devin
parents didn't
Sawa
love you.
haircut. But yeah, so I think he just wants to really you need to be laughing more. You need to be having
He's
fun.
trying to
You
goof
need to
around.
yeah, like people that make you laugh, people that make you feel love, this feeling, this safe
This
feeling.
is your home. This is what you need to
Yes.
look for.
If you're
energy.
around someone and he's making me feel this, you get the bubble guts. Like sometimes might be the shit, sometimes it might be whatever. But like
Especially around me. We're always drinking
that's-
coffee. We're always talking about taking well, I am. I don't want to embarrass her. I'm always talking
Yeah.
about taking massive man, time in the bathroom. So she
Nice.
always makes fun of me. She's like, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, who cares? See, that's your Aquarius friend. We will go in
My
public
wife.
and be like, don't care.
Oh yeah, I embarrassed her at the
will-
drive-thru.
yeah.
I felt so bad. I was like, oh, my bad. Like I
Oh,
care,
so
I care, but like I also don't. You know what I mean?
I
Like
was channeling you for 2 days.
I told you.
Wow.
Okay, Okay, it's
Wow.
making sense to me on my end.
Because I was so I thought it was my best friend's energy. So I recently because of my divorce, I've lost all my friends and family.
Is everybody plugged in?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as far as a charger,
Oh,
there should be a charger
Oh.
next to you, just in case. Sorry, I want to.
no, you're
I
good.
think I'm okay. I don't know, whatever.
Is there one that fits?
But anyways, through all of this, I have realized that out of everything, like I miss her the most because her birthday's October. She's very
These
similar.
fall
to yours.
babies, man,
Yeah.
they've got us.
But that was the thing that hurt me the most is that I was like laying there watching the New Girl, like just because that's my comfort show. Because I used to
Yes.
live in Chicago with 5 guys in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Let's do
And
5 guys.
she was also there for a while too. So I thought I was just sitting there like mourning her, but I was just in your sad girl energy. It's time for you to not be sad anymore. He wants you to be happy.
I want to hear more.
Okay.
because there.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Sorry, I
if-
keep interrupting.
and
I am
you can
sorry.
ask questions
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So no, he really wants you to be happy. So do you currently are you wanting to live in like Lincoln? Where are you wanting
we're in the house that we moved into
in Lincoln?
in Lincoln.
With
Yeah.
him.
So before she was born, or no, she was born. She was about 2 months old, and then we moved into the house together.
Her
and
and the
then,
one on the other side.
and then sold the place, didn't sell it. It was up for sale, went back and forth and blah, blah, blah. And then we ended up having to come back. So I committed to the decision of coming back, moving back into the house. And we've shifted things around since then. But ever since that moment, I wanted to escape and get out because there were family members of his that were close by.
okay.
And it's just like the language
The
barrier.
You
Same
can't
thing.
heal in the places that you're sick.
Yeah, the
And
language
you
barrier.
You
couldn't-
also can't run away and expect another place to heal you. You have to be doing the work,
There's a balance. Yes.
There's
yeah,
good
you have
soil,
to do, yes,
but you have to water it.
correct. Yeah. Like today, I'm literally leaving for North Carolina today because I know whenever I go, I've learned, let me say, because I have a lot of Sagittarius in me too. I have learned that you can't run away. You can't just like pick up and move to a different city. Sorry, I've done it millions of times too. That's why I moved to Chicago. But like, you can't do those things. And I'm not running from the things, but I can't heal in the place that I became sick. So I am literally going to North Carolina with the purpose of, I don't even have any expectations of what we're doing, just as long as I can dip my feet in the ocean and be around my girlfriends.
No expectations.
See
You need to lower
the-
them.
that's where you came in, right? So it's like I still feel myself wanting to get out of that house because I mean I escaped from a different situation, and I thought that going out to Iowa was going to be like an escape. And like I say, it was nice, right? It felt good. Being
you had a break.
Being in a new house, being in a new space. But then I've got the stress of finding a job, finding a daycare, finding transportation to and from school. I mean, everything that I had, like, because I have like family support and stuff. Here in Lincoln, so parents that will pick up slack and watch her when it's needed. But then when I was out there, it was the dream, I guess, was sold to me on the premise of like, we're gonna have so many family and friends out here. And then it was, well, you didn't give it a chance. And like we just a couple weeks after, I was like, it was on her birthday too that we had to just leave like that, and that really hurt,
Sophie,
because everything is just.
It was the best thing, though, that you left. You understand that?
But I uprooted her once already to go out there, and then I had to turn it all around and do it again. And she said to me, we should have never come out here in the
When's
first
her
place.
birthday?
Your child, too. You
Oh,
have to
yeah.
give her some grace.
Thank you. So she's a Cancer. So
She's your Cancer.
right. So she's the
your
one.
Cancer, baby.
She's the heart that you're trying to protect, and how you come off in the world is just who the fuck she is. You almost need to be looking towards her to be like, okay.
I've been
I
telling
told her this
this
morning
for
too. I'm
forever.
like, do you know why we fight? I'm like, because you're a little mini version of me. I was like,
But with the
You're
Cancer,
the mirror.
be emotional. You're
you
the
have
mirror.
pieces of mommy and daddy in you, and we both make up. Because she comments on like how our skin color is different, and she's like, I wish your skin was dark like mine. I'm like, but you have
You guys
beautiful
look
skin.
like you
Yeah.
guys
Oh my
have the
God.
same skin
Yeah,
color.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm like, I look. And I
do.
see
Okay,
myself.
we're gonna delete
Yeah.
this, but I am so curious. When is her birthday? You said July. What year?
2017.
I wish I had tanner skin.
When I go,
right.
you
I see
see
the
my
sun.
shoulders. That's darker than my stomach. Like
I
I'm a little Mexican.
I see the sun for like 8 minutes and I'm red.
Oh my god, it's
Same.
terrible. And
I
Barrett
got
is
ginger
just like
skin.
me, but he has his skin, so it's like, who are you?
Oh yeah,
Taurus. Okay.
Barrett stays
She
red.
has a Taurus.
Hang on. What time was she born?
It was after 4:00 in that. I would say 4:00 p.m.
In,
that's about
in
as close-
Nebraska?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, fart. Wait, hang on.
She's got a whole tarot calculator, star
That's
That's why I
calculator
was like,
over
I'm
here.
so
It's fucking
excited. And
crazy.
I can't wait for you guys to connect outside of this just as
Yeah.
friends, first of all. Second, as a sisterhood. And third, for you guys to maybe
Well, the
talk.
thing too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So, okay, I
that's
just
actually, I mean, no pressure here, but I'm glad that she came outside. Like, I want to know if his presence is with us or even with her.
Always. I've been channeling him since 6.
Yeah.
6 helped bring
Does
him
he
forward.
have a mustache? Okay.
He's got like a mustache and goatee.
But was he always constantly just like fucking with it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I've had this come up in like a couple different areas. Or did you hate his mustache? Is that
I
what it
didn't know
was?
he would go like that with it. Or
Okay,
like,
just petty
Greasy.
it.
She's
Yeah.
probably
He was just
thought
like being
greasy.
he would,
Yeah.
Knowing her.
Yeah.
No, it was like like that, like a thing that he would do.
Okay.
And he had really big lips too.
Oh, he tried to
He
hide
was
his lips.
funny.
No, I don't think so. I like
Just
his
because
lips.
of you. Like he didn't want other people to see his lips, only you.
What do you mean?
So people with big lips, we have a little bit of a superpower because like I know that about myself. I know that I can be like, and like, hey mama it up. That's a lesbian term. I just figured that out. But I'm going to
Hey,
visit my
mama.
friends in North Carolina. They know. But
I'm a
anyways,
lesbian. Sorry.
but it's a lip thing, and he could seduce people, and he could do whatever with his lips.
He was very good at
but he
making you
only
feel safe and
wanted it to
comfortable.
do with you.
Even though he was doing these things, he knew you were his home.
That's
his
where
base.
the infidelity though, like that.
Oh,
He was
so then
lost.
that's what the hey mama. Oh,
He was
because there was
lost,
addiction.
though.
He was the alcoholic.
He wasn't. No,
He was addicted to needing love. I think.
Okay,
just
so-
like she
because
was.
I mean trauma in his own
Okay.
life that we didn't really dive
So it was
into.
just
So
addiction.
it was after his passing that I became fully self-aware, and I was like,
And
fuck, I
found
gotta
some
fix-
things out.
So that's what
Jeez.
happened when Six died. You accidentally, it's a trauma awareness
Yeah.
that happens.
Well, because then it was just
She wasn't able to
me,
grieve,
myself,
dude.
and I didn't have that sort of outlet, so to
Yeah.
speak, or
And
it's just like
I had
You had a
messaged her
kid.
the day it happened. I messaged you the day he died. Do you remember
I
that?
don't. It wasn't the day that he died. It was that
The
it was,
next
it was in
day
December.
afternoon
It was
or
in
something?
December.
No, it was June 12th or 13th. I messaged you, and because I was looking, I looked at the article, and I was like, oh my god, because you had told me that he had passed. I was like, I messaged her that afternoon on Facebook. I can actually pull it up after this. We can.
It
look.
must have. Oh, then
And it was a
I completely
joke.
disconnected after that.
And I
then.
didn't hear from you, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she must be going through a tough time." Because you and I had only just recently reconnected because I had just had Barrett.
I swear,
it was
I
in
don't remember
2018.
it. I don't remember it being that way because
I remember talking to you
us-
on my way off of H on Craig. We were talking on Snapchat. I thought,
But because the thing that I remember is that this was after he had passed, or I would have to look at my Venmo transactions because you just like sent me $50 or something like that, just like here, like, hey, I'm not sure how you're doing it, but it was like in
'Cause I
that
had people
moment,
do it
like
for
I
me.
I could not believe what was going, because like I mean after the passing and stuff, it was like his side of things where everybody's like, let me know if you need anything.
So yucky.
And I was embarrassed at the funeral, and I just
well, what does she not know? Well, she only
but
knows
Libras
blah, blah,
can't
blah.
handle, if they get embarrassed, they can't handle it.
But it was in front of everybody
Right, exactly.
that was at the service.
I need you to know,
just been put
this is him talking. Nobody fucking matters. Your life, raising this child, that's all that matters. Fuck everybody else. All of this
And let her fly.
embarrassment and all of that stuff, it's all bullshit because that's how they grieved. And look how fucking gross and ugly it was.
But
You
he was
grieved
so
to try
family,
to heal and
he was
help
so family
your daughter.
oriented, though. That's where I also feel the
But
guilt,
he was
is
also
because
trapped in his family trauma with that.
Right.
That's also a
You didn't
familial
know.
thing with Hispanics.
Yeah, you didn't know all
There
that
were
shit.
expectations there. I'm
Yeah.
Hispanic. There are expectations
no,
there.
absolutely, because they would talk about me when I wouldn't show
I'm
up.
Exactly.
Italian,
Like,
so it's really
Look, baby, it
similar.
comes
Exactly.
through. My
like, what do
my
you do?
grandmother.
She never shows up, or she never comes around, or like when she does come around, she doesn't eat very much, and it's just like, I'm sorry. Like,
My
I just-
great grandmother comes through all the time, and she's always telling, because they always explain her as a bitch, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she's telling me this and that. And I'm like,
Sophie,
there's
what is
something
your
there.
heritage? What is your...
As far as I know, white. My dad is pretty. I take after my dad. With
I
my
always
features,
joked that
my dark
her
features and stuff.
her dad and I were dating. That was the joke. Do you remember that?
But do you guys know each other that far? Long
Yeah,
ago?
2012 at
Oh,
least.
17 years.
Yeah.
I was
Whoa.
just telling Isabella. I was just telling her about that today. I was
She
like,
used to be my
17
employee
years. I'm like, that
at
is
Jimmy John's.
crazy. Such a long time.
Yeah, and we had a
Oh my
huge
God, Jimmy
disconnect
John's.
for a while. We had a huge disconnect
dream.
for a while, like 10,
Okay.
12 years, and then we reconnected. And it was
'Cause
right
I remember
at the end of their relationship. They had just broke up. You were like, oh, I caught him doing whatever, and I had just had Barrett, because that was 2018, and you and I had connected like that in May or something, and then he passed
Oh.
that. And then maybe it was, what year was it, 2018?
June 13th, 2020.
Okay, so it was a few years after that still.
It was so after midnight. So then it was technically the 13th instead of the 12th.
And I had messaged her the 13th in the afternoon at like 2:00.
Then I definitely would
And
have.
she was already disconnected
I had-
from the world,
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
gosh! Because it was.
That's
in the
weird because I was
afternoon
thinking
that I
about her
had-
the night it happened.
I'm supposed to bring up a dream real quick. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you were the dream about the cheat. Okay, the dream that you were having. Did this have? This was not this guy
No.
that's passed. Okay, that was him talking to you through the dream. He will always have your back now because he know what the fuck he did to you, and he will never let. This is what 6 does for me now.
So he was telling you the dream is your reality,
Yeah.
essentially.
He is cheating on you. That was saying
Protecting you, even though he had those same misgivings. Is that the
Yeah,
word?
exactly.
He's like, hey, look, girl, like, I know you love this dude, but
Yeah,
like, he's
essentially-
doing the same shit I was doing.
essentially you're getting the dreams to
He's-
try to be a
And,
protection.
and
So
Claire,
that's how dead people show up in people that are not mediums.
And that was
in
the
dreams.
first person
I've had
who lost,
dreams
right?
about him
Good.
too. I mean, I a dream where I got to kiss him too, or a dream, and then another dream where my daughter was still a baby, like because I got to hold her again as a baby, and then I felt the weight of it and everything, and then my dad was there, and then I handed her to my dad, and then my dad is also very emotional, and he's that's Papa.
Is your dad passed?
No, he's
Oh,
not.
okay.
He's not. He's still here. But
Okay.
it's just like,
Sorry.
I make comparisons of like,
Oh, I see.
Well,
Got it.
yeah, he cheated on me, and like that's the part that I seem to like forget, and I I'd not necessarily
It's not like he was
glorify
forthcoming about it either.
Well, it's also, but there was like, that was a shitty aspect of the relationship, and it kept happening, and it would tear me apart every single time. But I loved him. I did. And I wonder what things would be like if we were still
hung up on.
It would, get it,
Okay,
but seeing
so
him
what
and
he's
other
saying-
people,
have
because
this
he was
communication, you need to
So-
bridge.
He's saying that that love.
That's what I'm saying. There was all this love that I was feeling.
Yeah, that love, you're never going to be able to find it. Okay.
Or replicate it.
So did I tell the
Stop
orange
looking
lighter?
for it.
I didn't tell that on the last one. No. So when Six passed away, before he passed away, okay, wait, pause. This is the real story. One time I came home from work when he was living with me. I had an orange lighter. And he was like, "Where the fuck did you get an orange lighter?" And I was like, "Oh, because at that day my lighter broke at work and somebody had an extra one and gave it to me." But he knew, and I thought it was love, but he knew that I didn't go to the gas station, I didn't do anything, but that was his fucking controlling
That's
ass
how he said I love.
insaneness, you know, of like, where did you get that lighter? Who did you get it from? Are you cheating on me? Like, because he would do that shit too. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it is love, but it's also codependent and very toxic at the same time.
were so
that attitude
young.
was me though, because it was
Okay.
always like I would get this gut feeling like
Six is a Libra moon.
you should check his phone. You should check his
Okay.
phone, and then a lot of
That's
the times
what
I would push
breaks
that out.
Libras. You can't feed into that.
Yeah, but
The
I
bad
would,
wolf.
I would push it out, right? And then the
The
moments when I did,
swords, the swords,
Yeah.
the
it
evil
was
and good.
willingly handed over to me, and
As
it
if
was,
you weren't going to find something.
Yeah, and then I would.
I remember
And
you
then
were
I would.
upset.
So
Yeah.
it was just
So that's the thing. Like, every single time a Libra goes to fuck around and find out, they're going to find out.
Mhm.
If you are going
Looking
to
for it, you're gonna
basically
find it.
not trust, you're going to not trust.
Because they're going to feel like if I'm being accused of it,
Right.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Exactly. So you have to go into it knowing, I know my worth. I know all me put together. You're not going to crush this. You're just my little purse today.
And that's
I
going to
need to-
allow them to be able to be the masculine energy
and
that you
show
need.
up. Yeah.
Well, because right now, I'm taking on both the masculine and
Yeah.
feminine, and that's where with that 2-year relationship, it was like, why can't you be more submissive? And I'm like, well, you want me to be, but you are not leading
Letting
in
me.
a way that makes me feel
Exactly.
comfortable
Want
to
to be
let that guard
submissive.
down.
And we
that's
went
where it's
through
like,
that too.
the expectations though, right? Like you plated the food for the kids and it wasn't even something that was asked to do. And then
Do you see
that
how
was,
little you don't even think about that? And that's huge for some people. And I
Oh,
hate
yeah,
praising
that's-
you for it because it's so bare minimum, but it means so much
Yeah.
to so many women that somebody prepared a
because I
plate
saw,
for their child.
I saw that too. And it
Oh.
wasn't even like having to
You get it, right?
what do you want
Oh,
for
yeah.
it wasn't even what do you want for dinner?
It's one
It
less
was
thing
a-
for you and have
yeah.
to micromanage.
Yeah.
And then it was you cooked everything and it was all done. Oh, we've got
So
6
all of
minutes
that's
here, and
called
it's just like I
mental weight.
Load.
mental
Yeah.
load.
Mentally.
And I would constantly talk
Yeah.
about that too. I would talk about mental load. I talked about
I
weaponized
wrote out every
incompetence.
single thing
He
in a
felt
note one
challenged
time.
by you. He's like, "Oh, she knows everything." It's like, I don't know everything. I'm telling you these things because they're ideas and concepts that I want to embrace.
No.
He took
Want
it as
to
control.
join it.
Yes.
Yeah, you just
You
wanted
need
to join it,
You
and
need
he
to find
thought it
somebody
as
who
nagging.
wants. Yeah, you need to find somebody
No.
who wants to join you and not
Eh.
compete with you, Sophie, because you're so fucking cool. You're so fucking cool,
Oh, my heart.
and you're beautiful as fuck. Like,
And you look like sunshine and you smell like roses.
Now, and as men, we are not doing this on purpose. We have
Oh, fucking
been,
feels like
been
it.
raised to think.
I wish you could be with us,
but
like
in-
me and
in
Matt
reality-
when Cameron's around, because she's like, "Oh, you need to hear this drama too." You know what I mean? It's
in reality, I was raised in a way that the woman took care of the meals and took care of the house and did the laundry and all these things, and you were just to go to work and provide for the family,
and not
and things were going to be done at home when you got there. Now, it took me a long fucking
Too
time,
long.
40 years to realize that wasn't the case. You know, that
and
I
always had to
should be
prove that I
helping
could be
prepare the
loved through my
meals and
sexuality because of
and-
my parents.
and some of
Well,
these other things, you know. So it's you know, it's not it wasn't just him.
Mhm.
This was a
It's
me
all
problem.
men,
This is
yeah.
men. we haven't been.
And me,
We can
Raised.
break this.
We haven't been. Yes, no, and I'm.
We can
and
find the pockets of people who like our idea.
And
right.
I'm going to raise my sons in a way that they will.
They're going to protect your daughter. You're not going to have to worry about them. You know what I mean? They're going to be men that your daughter doesn't have to heal from. That she doesn't have expectations of sex to need to be loved.
But had I not had Jen to
learn from,
and not just fucking leave,
Like Capricorn
but to fight in a way that
meant something.
you know
Had some
she
kind of
wasn't going to
purpose.
just dip on me and was like, look, dumbass, I need these helps, and it did. It took her fighting. I need these helps.
Dumbass.
Doing me a confused right now. No.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't,
There's so much life out there.
But that-
I hated coming out to Craig. It was
That's
the
why I
worst
kept
moment of
fighting
my life.
in those 2 years though, because that's what I feel. It's like,
Thank you for breaking the ice. Thank
How
you for
much-
allowing this communication, Cece.
how hard do you have to try? You know what I mean? Like, relationships are going to be hard work, and it's going to consistently take work. But how hard
You
should
have to have
it
someone
be?
who's not going to leave
I
the
asked
house
myself
because they're
that.
mad.
Okay,
Not
Like,
even leave
you
the house.
know that
Pause.
leaving the house in the unknown bothers me. Don't fucking do it.
So this is the problem. I'm being real. Not even just leaving the house, taking away communication,
Ma'am.
Don't do that. Don't do it. In order to figure out anything with any fucking human being that you have in your life, any relationship whatsoever, mom, dad, daughter, husband, you have to communicate. You have to. And it needs to be face to face. This fucking shit is not reality.
Yeah.
But
It's a little orb glow
It
telling
would
you
be-
the spirits are
It's
here.
like a blue
Don't text
buzz.
any serious topics, and then all of a sudden it's like 15 text messages of a
Right.
serious topic. But I'm like, okay, so this is so completely backwards right now, because you tell me one thing and then you go and do the exact opposite.
Don't be attracted
But
to those people.
I still-
Cut those ties.
I don't know how much more you could channel or what is
What
there.
questions do you have?
I guess.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
so
that's-
just so everybody's aware, we're at about our hour.
Okay.
But I mean, we can run as long as
Yeah.
we need to, but we do
we do have a babysitter.
we
out
do
there.
have a babysitter.
Yeah, I have a daughter. I
She's
gotta get
totally
back to.
fine. It
No,
doesn't
you're
sound
cool.
like chaos has erupted, but
So
Do
we are tight.
I feel like you have like 2 or 3 questions.
Well, and not questions, but I mean the situations, because he lied to me that day.
Okay, pause
about-
1 second.
Yeah.
I just need you to know that he was a human and he had a lot of addictions, and addictions, sex, maybe flirting, maybe whatever.
He was so
That was his addictions. And I know that us as humans, we don't ever look at it as, when it comes to sex and flirting, as addiction. I was a supervisor at a drug and alcohol rehab facility, and I came across every single addiction possible, and that is an addiction.
Mhm.
and
But that's, I mean, I would find like websites and stuff,
Right.
and things that he had subscribed to. And
that's
all
what
that.
you're stuck
That's what
on.
it
You're
was
afraid that you're gonna not be
You're-
able to talk to them again if you leave them.
what?
Upside, you can't watch porn in Nebraska anymore without an ID.
Yeah.
She's
You gotta
stuck
go
on
through
the
some
fact that if she has an
Yeah,
issue
man.
with somebody, or if there's a disconnect
Oh.
and they're not talking, that's going to be the last time they talk. They're not going to be able to say goodbye,
Okay.
and they're going to be gone forever.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I get
We-
that. I had happened to me.
It-
just
everyone.
as a man here, let me
This is her first one, so that
we
he
find
is
it
her spirit.
we find it hard to talk
I mean, I'm having it
because
happening right now
most of the time
with an alive one.
when y'all are mad, it becomes bullets
So
in your
scary.
firearm.
It's so scary.
I understand that, but I'm not trying to hear that shit when
But it's
You
all
have
real.
to. In-
It's
in-
all real.
I understand that, but like,
It's stuff you guys wouldn't talk to us about before then, and now
And
it's
now
exploding.
it's volcanoing.
but having you use it as well, I mean, even when it
Well,
has
you
been,
women don't
when it,
listen.
when
You
it,
blah blah blah. You guys
no, that's
also
not what
doing
it
the
is.
same
When,
thing.
when things have been talked about, and you know, I it's the bringing up of the old.
It's a pattern
I-
that we're
Okay.
bringing up. It's a formula, especially people with ADHD. We see the formula. We see a pattern. It's not that we're bringing up the past. It's like, hey, look, we're trying to communicate that we see this pattern happening, and we're catching on.
That's what it
And
is.
I don't want to seem like I'm crazy, so I'm
Right.
trying to communicate with this with you, and
Mm-hmm.
you tell me
You
that
keep
it's
bringing up
nothing,
the
but it
past.
feels like something. And I'm not trying to bring up the past, but it's an occurring theme, and I'm trying to communicate it, and you guys feel like it's nagging.
And it's not.
And it's
meaning
us trying to
attack.
communicate. We don't know how to communicate
Yeah.
it sometimes.
It's not.
But we're
meaning to
communicating
come
it.
out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it seems, don't come at us like that. Well, how about you guys come at us with understanding when we get like that? How about if we're so crazy, why aren't you guys the smart people who are figuring out how to nurture us?
We don't.
If you guys
know
are
how
such
to
men.
communicate. We don't know how to communicate at all.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. We're
I mean,
trying to
it's-
help you,
yeah,
and you guys aren't hearing it. You guys
but-
are only hearing it as nagging and that we hate y'all.
attacking.
To a
Most
point.
people are seeing
We
it as
love
attacking.
y'all. We need y'all. We're
But-
trying to communicate with y'all.
but-
Sorry.
We have to
Does
be.
he see her?
Oh, 100%. Always.
We're trying to
with her.
communicate.
Is she named after him or something?
She has his grandma's middle name.
Okay, I was like, it's a middle name. What is the Oh my god, that's beautiful. Oh my god, could you call her ES? I don't know why he wants to call SC essay. What does essay mean in Spanish?
Homie.
I think it's like
Oh, that's
Doesn't
what he's calling.
But sorry,
Us
I don't
homies.
want to take away from
Oh,
men,
I
the men's
want
side
to
of
hear
it.
any
Yeah.
and everything because
Let's-
this is something
Let's
like
communicate you guys, but I want to also
Right.
bring in
not
the
that I
men's
was
mental health.
skeptical,
bits.
but I was looking at. I was already looking at an option like this because I mean there's people that advertise it and that are it can be a fluke,
Yeah.
right? I want someone that didn't know much about me that could just pull
Yeah.
organic information.
No, and I do
Thank
not
you,
talk
CC.
to.
Clearly, you're not on Facebook or anything like that, so she couldn't really
Oh,
do
yeah.
a research on you.
No, and I can't even be online anymore. That's why I had to have CC come in because
Thank you.
Me
You're the
getting-
thread that keeps us together. You're our bull,
Yeah.
man.
because like being the spirits take over sometimes when I'm online.
I know.
And like I'll like sometimes if I am too high, I'll message someone. I'll be like, no idea what I said.
Or there's sometimes you text me and be like, look this up, or
Yeah.
like,
Do you have
Find out about
thoughts? Like, do you see? Like, is he saying anything about her?
He's very
She's
proud
beautiful.
of you. He's proud of how much you've done and been through to raise her to be so fucking smart and so
Analytical.
sassy
Particular.
and like he's like wanting to say like she's a little shit, but it's in the best way.
I almost said that last night. I was like, she doesn't like those words. I'm going to call her a turkey. Do you remember that? I called her a turkey. I was
You
like,
called her a
little
turkey nugget.
a turkey nugget.
And I was like, if I was talking to my kids, I would say shit, but they don't use those words.
She's
leave
a.
it to Claire.
And I was
I
like,
just
you
shit it
call
out
her-
right
it
now.
was
You
meant
call
with
her a
love.
chicken nugget though. She's a little chicken nugget. I'm like, why do you call her chicken nugget? He's like, I don't know.
I call
And then he would
it-
say that she had tamale feet. Tamale feet when she was a baby because they were like
Little
chunky.
roll.
They were
Mhm.
chunky, but they were long.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
But I don't know. I'm looking for more to like. I want more details that kind of connect.
Yeah.
Stories. To,
There's a lot that we're going to be able to go over, and there's a lot of signs and symbols. I can tell that you have like, oh, when I see a dime or like something.
what
like,
about feathers?
okay, then that's what it is. Yeah, the things that are personal between you,
It wasn't personal though, because it was
between
like
you as he's passed.
after.
that connects you to.
So I guess
time.
because I
Because
felt
the
like
number
after
666 was not a thing when 6 was alive, but now
that
he
was
haunts me
four,
with
he
it.
passed.
all the
That's our
time.
number.
Oh my gosh,
That's our
444 all the
And
time.
that
So
happened. We walked in the hotel.
she was literally okay. So the hotel room was 107. She's like, "Oh, 7. Is that a lucky number for you?"
7 is
For you?"
7.
And then I
It's
was
a
like,
lucky number for me anyway.
"Yeah." And I was like, "No." I was like, "But I do see 444 all the time." And then we walked in. Time on the clock is 444.
Whoa.
It was
Yeah.
so-
And I
Yesterday?
just- yeah.
I saw it too. I saw it at 444. I remember looking in my clock. I was like, oh, I never see that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
but no, I see it all the time. 444.
Wow.
So, but I
I
mean,
feel like
want,
it was,
I-
want
it was
connection.
his way of telling
I see
you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I got
And then
married to
found out
Jen,
about
and
King
ever
Elizabeth.
since I've seen 666 everywhere, including when I bought my Typhoon.
Yeah.
The loan number had 666 in it. I was like, what the
After
hell?
it.
He's like wanting to go
666.
like this to
Yeah.
you. 6 He's like,
Stupid.
yeah, that's how
What
he
about
shows up.
after-
He's a little shit.
Because you had said that it hurts down there, and like, did
That-
he
Bled out.
hurt? Yeah. Did he hurt
No.
after that though?
He bounced out right away. Second,
He's
he's
a soldier.
showing me. He's like, I didn't like pain. You knew that. I bounced out the second I felt that.
I disconnected myself.
Yeah.
As
Did
much
he
as I
know that? Because it was
No.
like I mean I
was it a level of danger when he walked in there?
No.
yeah it I mean I
Like he didn't feel like that was going to happen. He's showing me that when it actually happened, he was like, "Oh fuck it, bro."
He didn't lie to
like,
you
it
to
was
go
that.
create.
He would
drama.
always tell me too that he was gonna die young.
Wow.
And he had a friend
Sam
that
said that too.
was
He
just as
did. I
his
read
friend
that.
died probably 2 years before he did. And it was he held on to that a lot too. And I just like their communication. We did
It
not
was in his
have
obituary
that,
too.
and it was kind of it was just, I don't know. It was so crazy. I felt like there was so much that we could have talked about, and we could have talked for hours,
He just
Yeah.
didn't know he could.
but we just didn't.
He didn't
get
know he
super
could,
personal.
Sophie.
Like,
He
yeah.
didn't know he could.
It's
His-
so
Look, back-
The
like
culture he came from, he didn't know he
back
could.
back to this. We as men don't
Thank you.
know that we can talk. We're
Let him talk.
it is afraid for it to come back to us.
Mhm.
And we
but
can't.
why is it a bad thing if it comes back?
They
to
don't
you?
know what the future's going to be. They don't know what the butterfly that they're releasing is.
And
You
yeah,
said with the
it could be used as
I saw
ammunition in
butterflies.
an argument towards us.
But it
could
isn't
be
killing you in that argument. So why is it a bad thing?
because it's going
It's
to
the
anger us.
butterfly.
Because
It's the
we
butterfly
gave
they're
it to
afraid
you.
of.
We gave you this information. We trusted you with this information, and now you're using it against me.
And you know how
Fuck
that feels.
you.
But
And you
wouldn't
know
it be
it's
for your
weaponizing
better
the trauma.
for, like,
I've done.
I
That
wish
before,
that I
though.
knew like an
I mean,
example, but
I'm not
usually when that
just-
happens
Here's
with
my thing.
me,
I don't like talking about when my dad beat the fuck out of me. So I don't want to talk about that shit again. If I have trusted you to hear
Okay,
it the
I get
first
what you're
time,
saying.
I'm not trying to bring it up again.
And I try not to with the boys. I'm just like, it's just his daddy wasn't very nice. Like with Bella last night, I was like, well, just some mommies don't. Your mommy would never leave you, right? And that's reassuring to her that her mom would never leave her.
Yeah.
Even through everything they've been through. Oh, you're right.
She told
My
me
mom-
she's gonna live with me forever.
Good, because she
Yeah.
can come live on the freaking
Yeah.
compound with all of us.
She's like, I was like, no, you're gonna grow up. And
Can I
you'll
move
get
my
your-
shed out there, guys?
I'm
You'll
just
get your own-
saying.
own
You might.
job
We'll have to
and-
talk to Melissa, but
apartment.
I would love to have a harem of women.
Oh
Like,
God, that's what I've been fucking
I
picturing.
hated
my whole
having
life.
women around me, and it was because of my mom. And it wasn't until Sophie, I was like, I don't know, when we had our falling out, I was like, I hate this.
Mine
Because it was like,
pretty.
we can either continue having a working relationship, but we can't be friends. Or we can not have a working relationship and we can be friends. And we obviously have two different ideas of how that ended because we're human
I mean, I was
beings, and
also
we loved each other
young
very
and-
much.
yeah, and
But
that
we're
hurt.
both very young.
That hurt, and everybody.
And I had the
it felt like
responsibility of being a mom at that point.
everybody in my life that had some sort of significant importance has left.
Left. And that
but
happened.
That death has stuck with me. That
And
was
we reconnected right before
we
you
were
passed.
together for 5 years.
There's a
You know,
reason
I
for
started
that.
working at Verizon and
Wait, in Lincoln?
in Lincoln, yeah, and
Whoa.
he was there. He opened the door for me, and I was like, "I'm here for an interview," and he was just standing there. He was like, "Okay." I was like, "Can I come in?" He was like, "Oh yeah," and then it was like from that moment.
He's goofy as
We
shit.
were together, like inseparable. He lived with his parents, and I had like
That was
just
us,
moved into my
Sophie.
own.
That's a repetitive
Just
energy
moved into
you
my
need to
own place.
find.
And then we had a stray cat that was like outside of my apartment, and then we would let it inside. And then his cat had babies, and then he brought Michael Katzen and
Michael Katzen.
Katzen,
That's
yeah.
such a great name.
And
Was that a
then,
black cat?
He's so
No, he was
goofy.
orange.
That
He
would
was
have been
orange.
funnier.
Yeah.
Every time he comes through, he's so goofy.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about him all the time. And then he was always willing
Thank you for
to
helping me sort that
always
out. I
take
didn't know what this
photos,
was.
and he was always taking pictures of
I wondered
himself.
why I was so chill. Because
That's what,
you had
all
it
day. All day I've been like, this is okay, sweet girl. This is okay. That's my whole energy today. Thank you guys for helping me figure this
Yeah.
out. But Sophie, sorry, go ahead with your thought.
But the very first apartment that I had to live in, he was there from almost day one, and it was like he lived with me, but he didn't at the same time. And we would just smoke weed
And
stuff
stop
like that,
repeating
and then
that
we
pattern.
could be able.
Stop it.
We would be able to. Just, I mean, if this was when we were.
He's not going to let the pattern repeat. Because
No.
he'll show up in dreams. He'll make it known it's time to leave. He's got your back no
Please
matter
start
what.
listening.
So it isn't, because I also thought that the dreams were a factor from like medication that I'm on. So because
They bust through no matter what. I can't dream right now because I'm going through so much. He showed up in her dream.
yeah.
They will show up no
he's
matter what.
come to me. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Because
He's
when
he
you're
actually
stressed,
said-
you can't dream.
Six
So
said,
right now I haven't been able to dream because I'm.
Six said, Jen lets Beth talk. Why the don't you let me talk? Why do you suppress me? She lets me do it. Tell her, Jen. Tell her, let me talk a little bit. That's what he told me. Sorry.
Oh.
And I don't, it's so weird, Sophie. Like
Yeah.
trying to saying that out loud in front of you, I'm like, we haven't really had that element
Right.
of the conversation. And this is so weird. That's why I'm like so emotional right now. It's like,
Yeah.
and I had to sit back. I don't know what this is.
So, like I said, as Aquariuses, and you're a double Aquarius, and you're born on a new moon. It is a new moon, and it's Leo season right now. So the Aquarius energy is muted. You can't feel
You
Aquarius
came through with
energy.
Cece, like we needed her. This
Yeah,
wouldn't
the
have
Pisces.
happened like
I
this
know.
without her.
I know.
I've got
She's
so
my
much
manifester.
Pisces.
She's my manifester.
Thank you.
I'm glad I could help.
Is he with his friend?
You have to tell me names because
Trey
there's
Fawn.
like, do I know this person?
Trey. That's who. That's his friend that passed.
You
Why
are.
do I know this person?
You might.
Trey Fawn Valderrama.
Are they from Nebraska? I think I've connected to him before.
And he looks
Like-
kind of like Trey Songz too, because both of them together were
I
like,
just heard Jason Derulo.
yeah,
Like,
they were like
I don't know.
pretty boys, right? So then the
Oh.
very first, because
So they were
he
just
was-
like walk around singing and just like
yes,
Okay,
all the
got
time.
it.
And then so Jose had a Dodge Challenger, freaking ridiculous car, and then I get pregnant, and then the car ends up getting totaled. Actually, it was
Oh.
kind of like crazy how it all happened because it got totaled. The amount that it was totaled for paid it off
Exactly.
entirely. This was
Just had to
months
restart.
before. This was months before she was supposed to be born. Because I'm like, you need to get a new car.
Oh,
And
whoops, manifested
yeah,
that.
and then that happened, and then his friend passed. His friend had a Dodge Charger, but they bought the cars together. So, anyways, what I'm getting at
And
here
then
is
he got that car.
no, he didn't.
Oh.
His mom has
Okay,
that car,
okay.
so I don't know if she still did. Then again, everybody in his life now, I am no longer
Right.
There was
connected
also
with. So.
a language barrier.
But yeah, the language barrier, but then also the treatment that happened after the fact, and I just
Oh.
didn't feel fully comfortable.
She wasn't
being
allowed to
there.
mourn.
Yeah, it was they grieving in two different ways, right? But also having to.
That's
just
why she's
Wow.
stuck in
Taking
that
I
advice
want to
moment.
from-
take a moment to
Please,
say
I'm
sorry,
sorry. Taking advice from my mom to like suppress it. Okay, you've got to move on, but then they're feeling it, and in a very, very. I have never heard a scream that way than when his mom saw
Yeah,
that.
I know.
But then as soon as I saw it, I mean, I regret looking, but I looked at him. I was like, that's not him. His
Yeah.
hair was pushed back.
Yeah.
It was just like he
Good
had
job.
all these bruises and stuff, and they're like, it's going to be traumatic. And I knew he wanted to be cremated.
Yeah.
His friend was cremated. Okay, I'm
yeah,
getting off
okay.
topic.
He's
here.
he's like, okay, let's wrap that up. Like
Yeah.
the emotions
But
that
we
you
have
have
a
right
time
now,
thing about 10 minutes.
and because
Halloween.
this is
I
to
want to
be
talk about Halloween though, because Verizon was right next to a party city, and this was complete spur of the moment. We were talking to this other goofy guy that we worked with, and he's like, "Hey, we should go out. We should go out." And this kid was just—he was like, very good salesman, but he was
You're impulsive.
hilarious, right? So, and then he was like, "Oh no, we should all go out together." And then he ditched us, and then it's just me and Jose go out together. I walk over next door to find myself a costume. It's a schoolgirl costume. Jose shows up at my house, and then I was like, "Can you?" Like I had it on and everything, and I was like, "Can you help me with this?" Knowing exactly what I'm doing, and he's like tying these garters to my stockings, and it's like I've got my like
Your butt
whatever.
out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
and then he but totally respectful, not even like just no hands and just like getting the job done, right? Just doing what I asked him to do without being
He's
creepy
saying
and
he
weird.
keeps saying you deserve so much better. He's like, I know I was a gentleman in that moment, but you deserve so much better.
We went out that night, and then the song is the
One I said
close. No, baby, when we're
Okay,
crying.
okay.
Closer.
Yes.
By next.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God,
then,
I know that song exactly. I know all the words.
But then Trey picks us up and takes us home, and then drops us off. And I mean, we were still like friends and still getting to know each other at this time. And then he gets out the car, and then he's thinking that he's gonna come inside and get lucky and stuff like that, because he was telling Trey, he was telling Trey like, "Hey man, you can just drop me off, it's cool." And then I'm just like, "Okay, bye." And then I went upstairs and I left, and then he was just like, "Okay, bye."
Oh.
But then
And you did good that night. That's
He
how
was
you
showing
should do.
you an image of what your future
Exactly.
could be, but
Yeah.
he just wasn't enough. You deserve it.
Yeah.
He just wasn't enough. And that's
I
why
know
it was cut
you
short.
think that he was enough because when they pass, we have a tendency to put them on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that pedestal, you need to remember all the bad that he did too.
Yeah.
And I know you do. But he's going to make sure that you don't repeat any of those things. You just leave it up to him and talk to him and ask him for help and utilize all of that. Like when he sends you feathers, that's his way of saying yes. If he sends you nothing, that's his way of saying no. You're going to show if it's 444s or if it's songs or whatever.
I bring that up because it was when I was unpacking everything. It was like the perfect looking feather, and it was in my front yard, sticking straight up and down. And
was it a goose feather?
I don't think so. It was like, I mean, it may be about that big.
Oh,
yeah, so just like a regular bird feather, I think, but like stuck in the grass, like straight up and down. And that was like when I was unpacking stuff at the house.
So that's your note. When you find a feather, that's when you're safe. When I see turtle doves, that's when I know I'm safe. That's my great uncle Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have little symbols from each person. But
how do you determine this? I guess
I will
we
definitely
can cut time
coach
here
you.
if we need
No,
to.
I'll coach you through that. Well, we need to be working together. Girl.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, I can talk forever too,
Yeah.
but I like that there's bits and pieces coming through here.
Yeah.
And then I had one more.
Anyway, yes, and then I don't want to put down the mental health side of this as well.
Yeah.
This is Mage Monday. It's for women. It's women to empower women who were always empowered. So Matt, thank you for your little bit that we were able to get that perspective in the midst of this. So we appreciate that.
It is helpful. It really is because I mean I act on emotion constantly.
We are
find a camaraderie in him.
We are
He's
automatically
here as a brother,
raised as
dude.
pieces of shit.
He's not gonna judge you. He's here to love you.
Like,
I
it
don't
was-
mind.
Yesterday too. Yeah, when you left.
Oh, I have to
like,
say this out loud. When it comes to also men of a different culture, I married a Korean. They are extra over top of white men. Do not show emotions. If you show emotions, you could get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even extra. So he wanted me to tell you that, just to be like, yes, it's the same thing, but because it like, I don't know. I hope that means something.
We have all been raised by
a different
bad
generation.
examples that were
and
raised by
comes
bad
with a lot of
examples.
cultural.
We were taught that y'all do your thing, we do our thing. That's the way it is. And I hope, as a father, that I raise my sons to not see that, so they don't have the problems that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jen should have left at points, but she didn't. You know what I mean? And that will forever. She will always have my respect for that.
Oh, thank you for
she
saying
has
that.
allowed.
Matt,
She
that
has
was
allowed
very
me
big of you. Good job.
to try to fix myself.
And that's why I love
That's
having
good.
camera
No,
around.
it was like
She has allowed me to say that one more time.
To try to fix myself.
That is fucking beautiful.
giving him the space to be himself.
That's
I've
all
always needed that.
Aquarius women try to do for anyone. Because we're the water bearers. We can see everything that's going on
There's
with someone.
a specific moment I remember him in. He was going through a really bad time with his relationship at the time, and I just remember him being so distraught and lost. He was just so gone, and we were at work, and I hated him at this time. I still fucking hated him at this time. So it's like where there's all these rumors and stuff surrounding it. I know where I was at. I can sleep at night. It's fine. But I just remember I was just like, man, I feel so fucking bad for him. And then my boyfriend at the time, because we all worked there together, he was like, hey, so I was talking to Matt about maybe possibly staying there as roommates. I was like, fuck yeah, I love Matt. I always feel so safe around him. There's a reason for that. I was like, I feel like me and his wife would get along. She's got I was like, I think her name's like Danny or something. I was like, I knew it was like a traditionally like male's name, and it, it is what it is. I don't know if I want to say it out loud, but it just to keep her in
Right.
anonymousness. Anyway, sorry.
I love big
And I was like, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be fine. And then we ended up moving in, and things moved the way that they did. But I was just like, I just remember looking at Matt and how sad that he was. And I was just like, I just wish that there was someone who could hug him.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a sexual thing. It was just like, I wish. Anyway, sorry, the Aquarius wanting to love you and water bearer.
Yeah, and it's so sad because us as Aquarius is like, because we're the 11th sign, we get told like, you're cold-hearted. You're cold as ice.
And it's like,
blah,
that's
blah,
the exact opposite.
Literally.
Like, just let me love you. Yeah. I want you to pee yourself. Let it out. Only you can feel the warmth, but everyone can see it. It's our love.
And on that note, we should be done.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
yes, if anybody needs to get a hold of Claire, I will
I was
post-
working through some emotion.
I will post the links in the video.
Yeah.
They were in. We had I don't remember. It was show 15, I believe.
So, yeah,
She
the
was in
last
show
one.
15. We got links in there too. We'll get
Yeah.
it done. But thank you, ladies, for putting yourself
Thank
out
you.
there.
Thank you all for sharing your heart
Thank you,
today.
guys.
Thank you.
Yes. So we're gonna run the music.
Thank you.
Yeah. Y'all have a great night.